Many people want to speak English fluently, but they feel stuck. They understand words, but when they try to speak, they stop. This happens because they are still thinking in their own language first, and then they try to translate. This makes speaking slow and difficult. So today, I will help you learn how to think in English and speak more easily. Chapter 1. Start thinking in English. First, let me tell you a simple story. When I started learning English, I had the same problem. I knew some words, and I could understand a little. But when I tried to speak, I stopped again and again. I was thinking in my own language, and then I tried to change it into English. It took too much time. I felt nervous, and sometimes I stayed quiet. But then I learned something important. I learned that if I want to speak English well, I must start thinking in English. That changed everything for me. Thinking in English may sound difficult, but it is not impossible. You just need to start small. You do not need big sentences in the beginning. Start with simple words. For example, when you see a chair, just say in your mind, chair. When you see a car, say, car. When you drink water, think, I am drinking water. These small steps help your brain get used to English. Slowly, your mind will stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Now let's talk about your daily life. Your daily routine is the best place to practice thinking in English. When you wake up, think, I am waking up. When you brush your teeth, think, I am brushing my teeth. When you eat breakfast, think, I am eating food. These are simple sentences, but they are very powerful. They train your brain to use English naturally. I remember when I started doing this. At first it felt strange. I forgot many times. Sometimes I went back to my own language, but I did not stop. I kept trying every day. After some time it became easier. My mind started to use English without forcing it. This is how practice works. The more you do it, the better you get. Another important thing is to stop translating in your head. Translation is slow. It makes speaking difficult. Instead, try to connect words with meaning, not with your language. For example, when you hear the word apple, do not think of the word in your language. Just imagine the fruit. This is how children learn language. They connect words with images and feelings, not with translation. You can also use pictures to help yourself. Look at a picture and describe it in English. It can be very simple. You can say, there is a boy. He is running. The sky is blue. This exercise is very helpful. It trains your brain to think directly in English without translating. Now, let's talk about speaking. Thinking is the first step, but speaking is also very important. When you start thinking in English, speaking becomes easier. You do not need to wait and translate. Words come faster. Your sentences become smoother. When I was learning, I talked to myself in English. Yes, I talked to myself. It may sound funny, but it works. I described my day. I said things like, today I am feeling good, or I need to finish my work. This helped me practice without fear. There was no one to judge me. I could make mistakes and learn from them. You can do the same. Talk to yourself every day, even for a few minutes. It builds your confidence. It also helps you find your mistakes and improve. Another helpful tip is to use simple English. Many learners try to use difficult words, but this makes speaking harder. Simple English is powerful. If you can say something in a simple way, that is enough. For example, instead of saying a very long sentence, just say, I am happy, or I am tired. Clear and simple speaking is always better. I also want to tell you that mistakes are okay. Do not be afraid of them. When you start thinking and speaking in English, you will make mistakes. That is normal. Every learner makes mistakes. The important thing is to keep going. Every mistake teaches you something new. I made many mistakes when I was learning. Sometimes my sentences were wrong. Sometimes I used the wrong words. But I did not stop. I learned from those mistakes. And slowly, I improved. So do not be afraid. Speak freely and learn step by step. Another good practice is to repeat sentences. When you hear a sentence in English, repeat it. Say it again and again. This helps your brain remember the structure. It also improves your speaking. You can listen to short sentences and repeat them daily. Also, try to surround yourself with English. Listen to English as much as you can. Watch videos, listen to stories, and hear conversations. The more you listen, the more your brain understands how English works. This makes thinking in English easier.
I remember when I started listening more. At first, I understood very little, but I kept listening every day. Slowly, I started to understand more words. Then sentences became clear. Listening helped me think in English faster. Another important thing is to be patient. Thinking in English takes time. It will not happen in one day. But if you practice every day, you will see improvement. Even small progress is important. Sometimes you may feel tired or confused. That is okay. Take a short break and come back again. Do not give up. Every day you practice, you are getting better. So always remember, thinking in English is the key to speaking English well. Start small. Use simple words. Practice every day. Do not translate. Talk to yourself. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do it. Step by step, you will improve. Your thinking will become faster, and your speaking will become easier. Chapter 2. Train your mind to speak without fear. First, let me tell you a simple story. When I started speaking English, I was very shy. I knew some words and I could make small sentences, but I did not speak in front of others. I was afraid that people would laugh at me. I was afraid that I would say something wrong, so I stayed quiet most of the time. But one day, I realized something important. If I do not speak, I will never improve. That day, I decided to try. The first time I spoke English in front of someone, I was very nervous. My voice was not strong. My sentences were not perfect. I made many mistakes. But something surprising happened. The person did not laugh. Instead, they listened. They understood me. That gave me confidence. I realized that speaking is more important than being perfect. Fear is natural. Everyone feels it. Even people who speak English very well were once afraid. The difference is they did not let fear stop them. They spoke anyway, and that is what you need to do. Now let's talk about how to remove this fear. The first step is to accept mistakes. Mistakes are not bad. They are part of learning. When you make a mistake, you learn something new. So instead of feeling bad, feel happy. You are improving. When I was learning, I changed my thinking. Instead of saying, I made a mistake, I said, I learned something new. This small change helped me a lot. It made me more confident. It made me speak more. Another important step is to start speaking in a safe place. You do not have to speak in front of many people in the beginning. Start small. Speak to yourself. Speak in front of a mirror. Talk to a friend who supports you. These small steps build your confidence. I used to stand in front of a mirror and speak. I looked at myself and talked about my day. At first it felt strange, but it helped me. I became more comfortable with my voice. I became more confident in speaking. You can also record yourself. Speak for 1 or 2 minutes and record it, then listen to it. You will notice your mistakes, but you will also see your progress. This is a very powerful exercise. Now let's talk about confidence. Confidence does not come in one day. It grows slowly. Every time you speak, your confidence grows a little more. So speak as much as you can, even if it is just a few sentences. Another helpful tip is to use simple sentences. Do not try to speak like an expert from the first day. Keep your sentences short and clear. For example, say, "I like this," or "I am learning English." Simple sentences help you speak without stress. I remember when I tried to use very difficult words. I got confused and I stopped speaking. Then I learned that simple English is better. It helped me speak more freely, so always keep it simple. Now let's talk about practice with others. Speaking with people is very important. If you have a friend who is learning English, practice together. You can help each other. You can correct each other. And most importantly, you can grow together. I had a friend who was also learning English. We spoke every day. Sometimes our sentences were wrong, but we did not care. We laughed, we learned, and we improved. That practice helped us both. If you do not have someone around you, do not worry. You can still practice. You can speak online. You can join groups. There are many people who want to learn, just like you. Another important thing is to focus on communication, not perfection. Your goal is to share your idea, not to be perfect. If people understand you, that is success. For example, if you say, "Yesterday I go market," it is not perfect, but people understand you. That is good. Over time, you will learn to say, "Yesterday I went to the market." But first, focus on speaking. I also want to tell you to stop comparing yourself to others. Everyone learns at a different speed. Some people learn fast. Some people take more time. That is okay. Focus on your own journey. When I compared myself to others, I felt sad. I felt slow. But when I focused on my own progress, I felt better. I saw my improvement, and that gave me motivation. Another helpful tip is to prepare small topics. Think about simple topics like your daily routine, your favorite food, or your hobbies. Practice speaking about them. This makes speaking easier because you already know what to say. For example, you can talk about your day. You can say, "I woke up early, I had breakfast, then I went to work." These simple sentences build your fluency. Also, try to smile when you speak. It makes you feel relaxed. It also makes you sound more confident. Your body language is important too. Now let's talk about mindset. Your mindset is very powerful. If you think, "I cannot speak English," then you will not speak. But if you think, "I am learning and I will improve," then you will grow. I always told myself, "I can do it." Even when I made mistakes, I stayed positive. This mindset helped me continue. Another important thing is consistency. Speak every day, even if it is for 5 minutes. Daily practice is better than long practice once a week. When I started speaking daily, I saw a big change. My words came faster. My sentences became better. Consistency made a big difference. Sometimes you will feel shy. Sometimes you will feel stuck. That is normal. Do not stop. Keep going. Every small effort counts. So always remember, fear is normal, but it should not control you. Speak without fear. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Practice daily. Stay confident. And believe in yourself. You are stronger than your fear. And step by step, you will become a confident English speaker. Chapter 3. Build strong vocabulary the smart way. First, let me tell you a simple story. When I started learning English, I tried to learn long lists of words. I wrote many words in my notebook and tried to memorize them. For 1 or 2 days, I remembered them, but after a week, I forgot most of them. I felt frustrated. I thought I was not good at learning. But later, I understood my mistake. I was learning words without using them. That is why I forgot them. Learning words is not about memorizing. It is about using. When you use a word, you remember it better. So instead of learning 50 words in 1 day, learn 5 words and use them again and again. This is a smarter way. Now let's talk about how to learn words properly. The first step is to learn words with meaning and feeling. Do not just learn the translation. Try to understand the word. For example, if you learn the word happy, do not just think of its meaning in your language. Think about a moment when you felt happy. Connect the word with your feeling. This helps your brain remember better. Another important tip is to learn words in sentences, not alone. Words are always used in sentences. So when you learn a new word, make a sentence with it. For example, if you learn the word beautiful, you can say the sky is beautiful or this place is beautiful. This makes the word stronger in your memory. I remember when I learned the word delicious. I used it again and again. I said, this food is delicious. The tea is delicious. This cake is delicious. Using the word many times helped me remember it easily. Now, let's talk about daily practice. Every day, learn a few new words. Not too many. Just 5 or 10 words are enough. Then use them in your speaking and writing. Repeat them during the day. This repetition helps you remember. You can also write your new words in a notebook. But do not just write the word and meaning. Write a sentence with each word. This makes your learning stronger. I used to keep a small notebook. Every day I wrote new words and made sentences. Then I read them again at night. This simple habit helped me a lot. Another helpful method is to use words in your daily life. Look around you and try to name things in English. For example, when you are in your room, say, this is a bed, this is a table, this is a window. This practice connects words with real life. You can also describe your actions. Say, I am walking, I am eating, I am opening the door. These simple sentences improve both your vocabulary and your thinking in English. Now let's talk about learning from context. Context means the situation where a word is used. When you read or listen, you will see words in sentences. Try to understand the meaning from the sentence. This is better than always using a dictionary. For example, if you hear, he was very tired, so he went to bed early, you may not know the word tired, but you can guess the meaning. This guessing helps your brain learn faster. Of course, dictionaries are helpful too. When you cannot understand a word, look it up. But after that, use the word in your own sentence. This is very important. Another fun way to learn vocabulary is through stories. Stories are full of useful words. When you read or listen to stories, you see how words are used naturally. This makes learning easier and more enjoyable. I remember reading simple stories when I was learning. At first, I understood only a little, but I kept reading. Slowly, I started understanding more. I learned many new words from stories. You can also watch videos and learn words from them. When you hear a new word, try to notice how it is used. Then try to use it yourself. Now let's talk about repetition. Repetition is the key to memory. If you learn a word once and never use it again, you will forget it. But if you repeat it many times, you will remember it. You can review your words every day. Look at your notebook. Read your sentences. Say the words out loud. This simple practice makes a big difference. Another helpful tip is to group words. Learn words in groups. For example, learn words about food, or words about travel, or words about emotions. This makes learning easier because your brain connects similar words. For example, you can learn words like happy, sad, angry, and excited together. Then you can use them in sentences like, I am happy today, or she is feeling sad. Also, try to use new words in conversation. When you speak, try to use the words you learned. Even if it feels difficult, try. This practice makes your vocabulary active. I used to challenge myself. Every day I tried to use new words in my speaking. Sometimes it was not easy, but it helped me improve quickly. Another important thing is to be patient. Vocabulary does not grow in one day. It grows slowly. But if you practice daily, you will see big improvement over time. Sometimes you may forget words. That is normal. Do not feel bad. Just review them and use them again. Slowly, they will stay in your memory. Also, make learning fun. You can play word games. You can make small quizzes for yourself. Fun activities make learning easier and more interesting. Now remember, vocabulary is not about how many words you know. It is about how many words you can use. So focus on using words, not just memorizing them. Start small. Learn a few words every day. Use them in sentences. Repeat them. Practice daily, and enjoy the process. Step by step, your vocabulary will grow. And when your vocabulary grows, your speaking becomes stronger and more confident. So keep learning, keep practicing, and keep moving forward. Chapter 4. Improve your speaking with daily practice. First, let me tell you a simple story. When I was learning English, there was a time when I knew many words. I could understand books and videos, but I still could not speak well. Why? Because I was not practicing speaking every day. I was learning, but I was not using. Then I changed one habit. I started speaking every day, even for a few minutes. That small change made a big difference. Speaking is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If you do not use it, it becomes weak. So you must practice speaking every day. Now you may think, I do not have anyone to speak with. That is okay. You can still practice. The first and easiest way is to speak with yourself. Yes, talk to yourself in English. It may feel strange at first, but it is very powerful. You can start by describing your day. Say, I am waking up, I am going to work, I am eating lunch. These simple sentences help you build confidence. They also help your brain think faster in English. I used to talk to myself every day. I described everything I was doing. Sometimes I made mistakes, but I did not stop. Slowly, my speaking improved. My sentences became smoother, and I felt more confident. Another great method is shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking English and repeat what they say at the same time. This helps you improve your pronunciation and fluency. For example, you can watch a short video, listen to one sentence, pause, and repeat it. Try to copy the speaker's voice, tone, and speed. This is a very powerful exercise. When I started shadowing, I noticed a big change. My pronunciation improved. I started speaking more naturally. It also helped me think faster in English. Now let's talk about speaking in front of a mirror. This is another simple but powerful technique. Stand in front of a mirror and speak. Talk about any topic. It can be your day, your plans, or your feelings. When you speak in front of a mirror, you see yourself. This helps you improve your confidence and body language. It also prepares you for real conversations. I used this method a lot. At first, I felt shy, but later, I became more comfortable. It helped me speak more clearly and confidently. Another important tip is to record your voice. Speak for 1 or 2 minutes and record it. Then listen to it. You will hear your mistakes, but you will also see your progress. Do not be afraid of your voice. Everyone feels strange when they hear their own voice for the first time. But this practice helps you improve quickly. Now let's talk about speaking with others. If you have a friend who is learning English, practice together. You can talk about simple topics. You can ask each other questions. This makes learning fun and interactive. I had a friend who practiced with me. We spoke every day. Sometimes we laughed at our mistakes, but we kept going. This practice helped us both improve. If you do not have a partner, you can find people online. There are many learners like you. You can speak with them and practice together. Another helpful tip is to prepare topics. Choose simple topics like your favorite food, your hobby, or your daily routine. Practice speaking about them. For example, you can say, "My favorite food is rice," or "I like playing cricket." These simple sentences build your confidence. As you improve, you can add more details. You can say, "My favorite food is rice because it is simple and tasty." This helps you speak longer sentences. Now let's talk about consistency. Practice speaking every day, even if it is just for 5 or 10 minutes. Daily practice is more powerful than long practice once a week. When I started speaking daily, I saw a big improvement. My words came faster. I did not stop as much. My confidence grew. Another important thing is to not worry about perfection. Many learners wait until they can speak perfectly, but this is a mistake. You do not need to be perfect to speak. You just need to start. If you wait for perfection, you will never start. So speak with what you know. Use simple words. Make simple sentences. That is enough. Also, try to think while speaking. Do not prepare everything in your head before speaking. Let your words come naturally. This helps you become more fluent. At first, it may feel slow. You may stop and think. That is okay. With practice, it will become faster. Another helpful method is to ask and answer questions. Ask yourself simple questions and answer them. For example, what did I do today? Then answer, I woke up early. I had breakfast. I went outside. This builds your speaking skills. You can also practice storytelling. Tell a small story about your day or your past. This helps you speak longer and more clearly. Now let's talk about staying motivated. Sometimes you may feel tired or bored. That is normal. On those days, keep your practice short, but do not stop completely. Even 2 minutes of speaking is better than nothing. The key is to stay consistent. Also, celebrate your progress. When you see improvement, feel proud. Maybe you spoke more clearly today. Maybe you used a new word. These are small wins, but they are important. I always celebrated my small progress. It kept me motivated. It made learning enjoyable. So always remember, speaking is a skill. You improve it by practice. Speak every day. Talk to yourself. Use simple sentences. Do not fear mistakes. Stay consistent. Step by step, your speaking will improve. You will become more confident, and English will feel more natural to you. Keep going. You are doing great. Chapter 5. Improve your listening to think faster. First, let me tell you a simple story. When I was learning English, I focused a lot on reading and writing, but I did not spend much time listening. Because of this, I could understand written English, but when someone spoke, I found it difficult to follow. I felt slow. I could not respond quickly. Then I realized that I needed to improve my listening. So I started listening to English every day. At first, it was very hard. I did not understand everything. Sometimes I understood only a few words. But I did not stop. I kept listening. Slowly, things started to change. I began to understand more. My mind became faster. I could think and respond more easily. Listening trains your brain. It helps you recognize words quickly. It also helps you understand how people really speak. This is very important if you want to speak naturally. Now let's talk about how to practice listening. The first step is to listen every day, even if it is just for a few minutes. Consistency is very important. Daily listening builds your skills step by step. You can start with simple content. Do not choose very difficult videos or fast speech in the beginning. Start with slow and clear English. This helps you understand better and builds your confidence. I started with simple stories and short videos. The language was easy, and the speed was slow. This made it easier for me to understand. As I improved, I moved to more difficult content. Another helpful tip is to listen and repeat. When you hear a sentence, pause and repeat it. Try to copy the sound, the tone, and the rhythm. This not only improves your listening, but also your speaking. I used this method a lot. I listened to short sentences and repeated them many times. This helped me remember the sounds and speak more naturally. Now let's talk about active listening. Active listening means you listen with full attention. You do not just hear the sound, but you try to understand the meaning. When you listen, focus on the message. Do not worry if you do not understand every word. Try to understand the main idea. This is very important. For example, if someone is talking about their day, you may not understand every word, but you can understand that they are talking about their routine. This is enough. Another useful method is to listen to the same content again and again. Repetition helps you understand better. The first time, you may understand a little. The second time, you understand more. The third time, even more. I used to listen to the same story many times. Each time I understood something new. This helped me a lot. You can also use subtitles when watching videos. First, watch with subtitles. This helps you understand the words. Then watch again without subtitles. This helps you improve your listening. Now let's talk about different types of listening. You should listen to different kinds of English. Listen to conversations, stories, interviews, and even simple talks. This helps you understand different speaking styles. I listen to many types of content. I listen to stories, conversations, and even simple news. This helped me understand different voices and styles. Another important thing is to listen to natural English. Real-life English is sometimes fast and not perfect. People use short forms. They join words and they speak quickly. Listening helps you get used to this. At first, this can feel difficult, but with practice, your brain adjusts. You start understanding faster and more easily. Now let's talk about using listening to improve thinking. When you listen a lot, your brain stores patterns. These patterns help you think in English. You do not need to translate. You just understand and respond. For example, if you hear, "How are you?" many times, your brain learns it. You do not translate it. You just understand and answer, "I am fine." This is how listening helps thinking. Another helpful tip is to listen during your free time. You can listen while walking, traveling, or resting. This makes learning easy and natural. I used to listen while doing simple tasks. Even when I was not fully focused, my brain was still learning. This helped me improve faster. Also, do not feel bad if you do not understand everything. It is normal. Even advanced learners do not understand every word sometimes. Focus on progress, not perfection. When I was learning, I often felt confused, but I kept going. Slowly, I improved. So be patient with yourself. Another good practice is to take notes while listening. Write down new words or phrases, then review them later. This helps you remember and use them. You can also speak what you hear. After listening to a short part, try to repeat it in your own words. This builds both listening and speaking skills. Now let's talk about making listening fun. Choose content you enjoy. It can be stories, funny videos, or topics you like. When you enjoy it, you stay motivated. I always chose content that interested me. This made learning enjoyable. I did not feel bored. Also, set small goals. For example, listen for 10 minutes every day, or understand one new sentence. Small goals keep you focused and motivated. Another important thing is patience. Listening takes time. You may not see results immediately, but with regular practice, you will improve. So always remember, listening is the key to thinking faster in English. The more you listen, the faster your brain understands. The faster you understand, the easier you speak. Practice every day. Listen actively. Repeat what you hear. Be patient and enjoy the process. Step by step, your listening will improve. Your thinking will become faster, and your speaking will become more natural. Keep going. You are making great progress. Chapter 6. Use English in real-life situations. First, Let me tell you a simple story. When I was learning English, I spent a lot of time reading and listening. I understood many things, but I still felt nervous in real conversations. One day, I had to speak to someone in English. I was scared, but I tried. I used simple sentences. I made mistakes, but I communicated. That moment taught me something very important. Practice in real life is the best teacher. Using English in real life helps you become natural. It helps you think faster. It also builds your confidence. When you use English in real situations, you are not just learning, you are living the language. Now let's talk about how you can do this. The first step is to start small. You do not need big conversations in the beginning. Use simple English in your daily life. For example, when you go to a shop, try to use English in your mind. Think, I want to buy this, or how much is this? Even if you do not speak it out loud, thinking like this is very helpful. If you have the chance, try to speak. For example, if you meet someone who understands English, say simple things like, hello, how are you, or thank you. These small steps build your confidence. I remember when I first used English outside. I felt nervous, but I spoke simple words. The other person understood me, and that made me feel happy. It gave me courage to try again. Another good way is to use English with your friends. If you have a friend who is learning English, try to speak with them. Even if it is just for a few minutes, it helps a lot. You can also set a small rule. For example, speak only English for 10 minutes every day with your friend. This makes practice fun and regular. If you do not have someone to speak with, do not worry. You can create real-life situations by yourself. For example, imagine you are in a restaurant. Practice what you would say. You can say, I would like to order food, or can I have some water? This kind of practice prepares you for real situations. Now let's talk about using English in your daily routine. Try to change small things in your life into English. For example, change your phone language to English. Read messages in English. Write your notes in English. I did this when I was learning. At first it was difficult, but slowly I got used to it. My brain started thinking in English more naturally. Another helpful tip is to write your daily activities in English. At the end of the day, write what you did. For example, today I woke up early, I went to the market. I watched a video. This simple habit improves your thinking and speaking. You can also speak about your day. Tell your story in English. This helps you use real-life language. Now let's talk about asking questions. In real life, we often ask questions. So practice asking simple questions like, what is your name? Where are you from? Or, what are you doing? These are very useful. You can also answer these questions. Practice both asking and answering. This prepares you for real conversations. Another important thing is to listen and respond. In real conversations, you need to understand and reply. So when someone speaks, listen carefully and try to answer simply. Do not try to make perfect sentences. Just try to communicate your idea. That is enough. I remember many times when I did not know the right words, but I still tried to explain. I used simple words, and people understood me. This gave me confidence. Now let's talk about body language. Communication is not only about words. Your face, your hands, and your expressions also help. Smile when you speak. Look confident. This makes your communication better. Another helpful tip is to stay calm. Sometimes in real situations, you may feel nervous. That is normal. Take a deep breath and speak slowly. Do not rush. Also, be ready to repeat. If someone does not understand you, say it again in a different way. This is part of communication. Now let's talk about learning from real situations. Every conversation teaches you something. After you speak, think about it. What did you say? What could you say better next time? This reflection helps you improve. I used to think about my conversations. I learned from my mistakes. This helped me grow faster. Another important thing is to not avoid speaking. Many people understand English but avoid speaking in real life. This slows their progress. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Even small conversations are valuable. Every time you speak, you improve. Also, try to enjoy the process. Real-life practice can be fun. You meet new people. You learn new things. You grow step by step. Now remember, using English in real life is the bridge between learning and speaking fluently. It connects everything you have learned. Start small. Use simple words. Practice daily. Do not fear mistakes. Learn from every experience. Step by step, you will become more comfortable. Your thinking will become faster. Your speaking will become natural. Keep going. You are very close to your goal. Chapter 7. Build confidence and speak without fear. Many people know English. They understand it. They can read and write. But when it comes to speaking, they feel nervous. They feel afraid. If this happens to you, do not worry. You are not alone. This is very common. Let me tell you something important. Fear is the biggest barrier to speaking English. Not grammar, not vocabulary. Fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of sounding wrong. But here is the truth. You cannot become confident without speaking, and you cannot speak if you are always afraid. So, the only way forward is to face your fear. I remember when I started speaking English. My hands would shake. My voice was not clear. I was always thinking, what if I say something wrong? But one day, I decided something. I said to myself, it is okay to make mistakes. That decision changed everything. The first step to building confidence is to accept mistakes. Mistakes are not your enemy. They are your teacher. Every mistake shows you what to improve. Think about a child learning to speak. A child makes many mistakes, but the child keeps trying. That is why the child learns fast. You have to do the same. The second step is to start speaking without waiting for perfection. Many people wait until they feel ready. But the truth is, you will never feel fully ready. You become ready by speaking. Start with simple sentences. Do not try to speak long or complex sentences in the beginning. For example, instead of saying a long sentence, say, I like this, or I understand, or I need help. Simple is powerful. The third step is to practice speaking every day. Confidence grows with practice. Even 10 to 15 minutes of speaking daily can make a big difference. You can speak alone. Talk about your day. Describe what you see around you. For example, I am sitting in my room. The weather is hot. I am learning English. This may feel strange at first, but it works. Another powerful method is mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and speak. Look at yourself. This helps you become comfortable with your voice and your expressions. I use this method a lot. At first, I felt shy, but after some time, I became more confident. I started to enjoy it. The next step is to change your mindset. Do not think, "My English is bad." Instead, think, "I am improving every day." Your thoughts affect your confidence. Also, stop comparing yourself with others. Everyone has a different journey. Some people learn faster, some slower. That is okay. Focus on your own progress. Another important tip is to celebrate small wins. If you speak one sentence today, that is progress. If you understand something new, that is progress. Appreciate yourself. Now let's talk about handling fear in real situations. When you speak to someone, you may feel nervous. Your mind may go blank. This is normal. When this happens, take a deep breath. Slow down. Use simple words. Do not rush. Give yourself time to think. If you forget a word, do not stop. Try to explain it in another way. Communication is not about perfect words. It is about sharing your idea. For example, if you forget the word calculator, you can say, "the machine we use for counting." This is still communication. Another helpful habit is to prepare simple sentences before speaking. If you know you will meet someone, think about what you can say. This reduces fear. Now let's talk about positive environment. Try to surround yourself with supportive people. People who encourage you, not laugh at you. If someone laughs at your mistakes, do not take it personally. Remember, you are learning. You are growing. That is something to be proud of. Also, listen to confident speakers. Watch how they speak. Notice their tone, their speed, their expressions. This helps you learn naturally. But remember, confidence does not come in one day. It is a process. It grows step by step. Every time you speak, you become stronger. Every time you face your fear, it becomes smaller. So do not run away from fear. Use it as a sign that you are growing. Now let me give you a simple challenge. From today, speak at least 5 sentences in English every day. It can be with yourself or with someone else. Do this daily, and you will see improvement. Believe in yourself. You are capable. You can do this. Confidence is not about being perfect. It is about trying again and again. Keep speaking. Keep improving. Keep moving forward.